my goal of this podcast was not to spread any misinformation. It was just for y'all to hear my side of things, to get this out there more. And if you are listening, like, there are things that you can do to help if you would like to. Like I said, please reach out to me if you want. And please vote. I'm going to keep saying it. Please vote. Hi, everyone, and welcome to More Access. I am your host, Aaliyah Moore. And this week's episode will be a little bit different. It will be a solo episode. I will be by myself. But we do have some topics to hit. One that's a little bit sensitive, but has been affecting me. And some of you may have heard about it, but it has something to do with the SB 17 bill that was passed recently in Texas. But also with the season coming to an end. I played my last game of this season, of my junior season, on Sunday. We ended up losing in the Elite Eight. So just a lot has happened in the past few weeks. So I'm ready to talk about it. So let's get it. So like I said, there's no guest this week. And again, really sensitive topics to talk about and some good stuff to talk about. But I think it's things that, as someone that has a platform, I want to talk about it, and I feel like I should. So first, we'll start off with the real good stuff. Well, it's not great, actually. We did end up losing in the Elite Eight on Sunday. Obviously, I had goals. As a team, we did to get to the Final Four, try to get over that Elite Eight hump. It did not happen. We ended up losing to NC State by, I think, like 6 or 7 points. That was heartbreaking for me. It didn't really hit me after the game that my junior season was over. It hit me like a few days after, actually. Like, I'm still thinking about it now, pretty upset because we really wanted to go to the Final Four, but things happen. I will say it was a great year for me. As you know, I tore my ACL my sophomore season, so I missed that whole season. And so I came back my junior season in November, so last November. So I played November, December, January, February, March. So I played for 5 months, and my comeback was pretty good, y'all. I will say. I'll let you guys, do the research if you want, but I averaged some pretty good numbers in the tournament and in Big 12. I was, I want to say second team all Big 12. I was first team all Big 12 at the tournament, and my teammate won MVP. Shout out Madison Booker, who I had on here a few episodes ago. And then I also was all tournament for the NCAA All Portland regional team. So that's just a few of the things that I earned. And I am really proud of myself. At the end of the day, it's not easy coming back from an ACL injury. And so for me to do that, and, I had some goals for this season and I accomplished them, I am really, really proud of myself, because it's not easy at all. And I just see the future and me having a full year to actually, like, I'll have time to actually work out this time. I'll have a summer. I'll have like the pre-stuff before we actually start the season to actually work on my game, which I'm really excited about. I told my mom, after we lost, the first thing on my mind was, of course I'm mad we lost, but also I'm on kill mode for next year. Like, it's over for people next year. So just really exciting stuff. Again, like I said, it sucks that we lost. We were all very upset about that. Like I said, I'll probably be upset until the next season starts, because the Final Four, we were this close to making it. But again, very proud of myself, and just, it wasn't easy. Like I said, it was difficult. Even coming back, I thought it would take me like a few months to get going. It really only took me a few weeks, and then I was back to being my old self. So that was great. And I think something too, just for any young kids that may be listening to this, or any parents that have kids that are going through injuries and they don't see like the light at the end of the tunnel, I promise you the light is there. It's just going to be very dim at first, and it's going to seem like, everyone's path is different, but it's going to seem like it's just kind of like this, goes down, goes back steady down. But I promise you there's highs, and there will be the lows, but there will be the highs. And you get the highs by going low. That's how you get higher. So, just stick with it. For anyone listening to this, if you are going through injuries, it does get better, I promise. I am a walking testimony of that. But yeah, with us ending the season the way that we did, next season, like I said, next year, the Final Four is our goal. Really a national championship. I told my coach, that's great that we get another ring, but I'm tired of the ring just saying Elite Eight. I needed to say Final Four championship, but again, my second year playing in March Madness, because I hurt my ACL my sophomore year. So proud of myself, proud of my team. It's not easy to get to the Elite Eight. And as many know, that's like the hardest game to win in the NCAA tournament. And any coach will tell you that. So for us to get there was a big deal. But I do believe next year we will get past the Elite Eight hump. We will. I put that on everything. We will. But yeah, I'm so excited for next season. It's gonna be really good. But I also do want to just talk about, like, although it is my main focus is winning, and that's why you work so hard during the season, is to get to March Madness, have a good seeding. I mean, we were number one seed, really big deal. First of all, that was amazing. That was the first time. I don't not in Texas history, but it had been like 24 years since we were a one seed, so we made history with that. We also won 33 games this year. That was a program record. So yeah, I mean, we lost in the Elite Eight, but you look at a lot of the other things that we did really good. Just me personally, and then as a team, having Maddie, who had all of her awards, playing as a freshman, me coming back from my ACL, Shay stepping up in a really big way. So I am, really proud of our team. And then outside of the court, like, the experiences for NCAA is so fun. Like traveling, hosting the first two rounds, my mom and grandma being able to come. They were in Austin the first rounds, and they were in Portland for the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight. Everyone else's families were there. I got to hang out with them. Like, that's also one of the best parts about being a college athlete, because the traveling, the meeting players. I mean, I think we had UConn. Yeah, UConn was in our hotel. Baylor was in our hotel, which I have friends from both teams. So I was able to see them in the hotel, which is awesome. Like, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, yes, you don't want to lose, but just the friendships, the people that you make, the relationships, like that, you will never forget. Memories that last forever. And so it was an amazing tournament. Like I said, did not want to lose the way that we did, but like I said, you go low, you only can go up from there. So that is the goal for next year. So yeah, that's like a little recap of the season, what's been going on in my life ever since the season ended, which I guess I really haven't really been doing much since the season ended, like, what, 4 days ago. We have time off right now, so I've actually been living the NARP life, you could say, acting like a normal student, going to class, sleeping, catching up on a lot of sleep, which has been nice, and just relaxing. So yeah, like I said, it does suck the season has ended, but it is nice to have some downtime right now. But yeah, so that's a little bit about the season, the end of the season, and what I hope for next year. And so we will go into the next topic, which I said is the little more sensitive one, because anyone that's probably living in Texas right now has definitely heard of this. Maybe outside of Texas, I know I've been on social media about it, and a lot of other people have too. But the SB 17 bill, the Senate Bill 17 that was passed, I don't want to be wrong, but I think it was actually a few months ago. But I found out about it being passed maybe 2 months ago. Again, not many people still know about it, and I found out really late. But the SB 17 bill, I'm going to read this to make sure that I don't say anything wrong. I don't want to spread any misinformation about any of this, but um, in January, Texas passed an anti-DEI bill, diversity, equity, inclusion bill, that requires public universities in the state to eliminate basically any diversity, equity, and inclusion related programs and positions. So for me, I kind of had to dumb this down a little bit because, if you don't understand what that means. So at our school, diversity, equity, and inclusion, of course, is open to anyone. It's not just Black people. It's all minorities. It's LGBTQ. It's women, all the women organizations, women in STEM. There's a lot more, but those are just like the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. So this affects all of those organizations that were funded by the school. So this bill is basically saying that we are no longer giving you money. We're no longer funding any of these DEI related programs. Figure it out on your own. And I know when I first heard about this, I was like immediately like attacking the school, like, Texas, why would you do this? Jay Hartzell, our president, CDC, why would you do this? And then I did more research. I talked to my mom about it. It's way bigger than anyone at Texas. At the end of the day, it sucks that this is happening to the University of Texas. And also, mind you, we're not the only school. I'm also from Oklahoma. This is implemented at OU. So pretty crazy stuff. All those related programs, organizations are no longer being funded by the school. So of course, when this all came out, I found out through social media, and I actually have a lot of friends that are non-athletes that are in like BSA, that I've met just through doing stuff that doesn't have to do with athletics, basically. It's like one thing that I really try to emphasize for myself is that I am more than an athlete, and so to get involved with other people and other organizations on campus. So thankfully, by me doing that, I know people, and I was able to hear about this not too late. So I can use my platform to get this out there. But yeah, so like I said, this was put in place. The bill was passed. But again, like I was saying, it's not necessarily our school's fault or Jay Hartzell, our president's fault, and CDC's fault. It's higher than them. It's legislator. It's everyone above, which is why, again, I want to reiterate, if you are listening to this, please vote. We have to vote. People do not vote and then get mad when things like this happen. Well, you have a voice. Like, it might be small, but you have a say in who is put in these positions of power. So please, if you can vote, vote. And if you're about to be old enough to vote, run and please vote and tell your friends to vote. Like, it's really important. And I think now I'm kind of just starting to understand why my mom would tell me that I need to register to vote. Because I would be like, Mom, like, my voice doesn't really matter. It really does. And now that it's affecting me and where I'm at, I understand it completely now. But I don't want other people to go through or do what I did and was like, it's fine, because it's not. We need people to vote. So if you take anything away from listening to today's message, go and vote. Please tell your friends to vote. Because things like this happen when we put people in power that don't make the best decisions. Yeah. So fast forward, schools were warned. I think it was last week that the deadline for institutions to comply was approaching. So we got the email yesterday in the morning, came quick, and from Jay Hartzell, our president, basically saying that the university will be laying off 60 plus people this week in these DEI, DDCE, I'm pretty sure that's correct, yeah, like related programs, organizations, and those are all Black professors. Like, let's be real here. 99.99% of the people they laid off were Black professors. And shockingly enough, I had class this morning. I walk into my class, my teacher's crying. Like, I could tell something was up. She's one of the professors that ended up getting laid off. I won't say her name, but she is someone that is very near and dear to me. She's always been there for me. She's a great professor. She's amazing at her job. She's there for every student. Like, this is not a Black versus white thing, because first of all, this affects all students on our university, like on the University of Texas. Every student, no matter what color, gender, it affects you. So definitely want to reiterate that it is not a Black versus white situation, and it's not just about it hurting Black people, because it does affect more than just Black African American. And also, for us to actually make change and to mobilize this, like, we have to come together as one. It can't just be Black people advocating, everyone else sitting in the back just watching or advocating on social media. But like I was saying, my teacher actually ended up getting laid off. It's pretty terrible seeing her cry, and just seeing how vulnerable she was in that moment. And it, again, like, it's just hitting, I swear it's getting closer and closer to home. Like, now it's one of my professors who I've loved. Like, I don't know what she's doing next. And it sucks because she's a great professor, and I wish I could just give her another job. But because of things like this, she was let go, unfortunately. She will be, but what's crazy is she will be with us for the rest of the semester, of course, because they want her to keep teaching. And then she will move on. But yeah, just again, like I said, it's hitting closer and closer to home. And so this is something that I just really wanted to talk about and get out there. And again, I don't want to spread any misinformation about this. I don't want to blame anyone at the University of Texas. That's not what I'm doing, because it is higher up than anyone at Texas. But it does suck, because at the end of the day, it does affect me. And I feel like as an athlete versus being a normal student, I, in a way, I don't want to say have more perks than a normal student, but it might affect me a little differently, if that makes sense. Because as an athlete, we're kind of protected. I'm trying to figure out how to say this in the best way, but it's like we're kind of shielded, like we're in a whole different world than normal students. And so that's also why, like, I found out about this so late. Thankfully, I did, though, because of the relationships I built with people that aren't athletes. And so again, I want to use my platform to just talk about this. And it's really sick. It's disheartening that this happened to a professor that has opened many doors for me, has always had my back and many other students' back. She's a great professor. And for her to just be let go like it's nothing. And again, it's not on the University of Texas, unfortunately. It's higher up than that. But yeah, the whole thing all the way around, it's terrible. And it's something that I never would have thought in 2024 we would have to deal with. But then again, it's the world we live in. So I'm also not really surprised. But I also just want to emphasize how important it is for anyone my age or older to speak about this and to get the word out there that this is happening. and to post about it, to come to protests, to come to meetings. If you are a student at UT and you're listening to this, please come to meetings. And if you need to find out when meetings are, you can always DM me on Instagram. You have Twitter. If you have my number, please text me. I will push out information that I'm getting from my friends. But I think it's really important that as the older generation, you could say, of people at the University of Texas, we have to do this for the incoming freshmen next year, for the young kids, the sophomores right now, or even the girls and boys that are in high school that'll be here in 3 or 4 years. Like, this affects them as well. But right now it's happening to us, and we can actually hopefully do something about it. And so I just wanted to put that out there. If you are my age, older, whatever, you have a voice. And again, please vote, because voting matters, y'all. And if this is proving anything, it's proving that you have to vote, use your voice. But yeah, so yesterday, when we all got the email, my phone started blowing up a little bit after the email came. And when I first got it, I didn't actually read all of it because I was doing something. I think I was in class. But after I got out, I read it, and I was like, I got what it was saying, but I didn't a little bit. I just got the part where they were letting people go. And then it registered a little bit later. I was like, wait, I know many professors that are Black that are under this DEI title or DDCE title. Did they get let go? They weren't saying who was let go or anything like that. So they actually ended up having an emergency meeting that was sent out, because there's also an Instagram. If you're hearing this, you can follow at Not Our Texas, where they post all the stuff about protest meetings, anything like that. So if you want to know any information, it's right there. But yeah, I went to that a meeting yesterday, an emergency meeting after this was all put out. It was a ton of students. There was, I think, 3 or 4 different locations, obviously for safety reasons as well, but also because that was how many students were affected by this and wanted to, hear and learn and basically know what's next. What can we do as a student body to have some sort of voice, some sort of power. But yeah, sorry, I know I was rambling a lot today, y'all, but this was just something that is really, really important to me, because I started this podcast not just because I'm an athlete. It's called More Access into my life. And like I said, I'm more than just basketball. I am a student first. I'm a person. I'm a Black woman first. And I came to Texas, yes, on scholarship to play basketball, but I also came here for the academic part. I came for the relationships, for the people. And yes, Texas is a PWI. Everyone knows that. But it is getting more diverse, and there are a good amount of Black people on this campus. And so for something like this to happen, it's unbelievable. But then again, it's not, because it doesn't surprise me, but it does surprise me at the same time. But yeah, I just thought it was on my heart to talk about it because I go here. Like I said, I am a student. The building that was shut down, the MEC building, I've been in there multiple times. I've had classes in the WCP building. I know professors that teach in there, again, Black professors, which there's very few at Texas. So that's why when I say Black professors, I'm putting an emphasis on that to make sure that y'all know that they are Black, because there's very few. We make up a small percentage of students. We make up an even smaller percentage in professors and doctors and all that stuff. And so that's why I'm putting an emphasis on these are Black professors in these buildings. I have academic advisors who are Black, stuff like that, because it's important to know we are very small. So it's important to put an emphasis on that they are Black, African American. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to talk about it, because this is something that is very important to me. I've been in those buildings. I have friends that are in these related programs that are being no longer funded and are being affected by this. And like I said, it's not really affecting me per se, because I am put in this bubble, this athlete bubble. But again, I have friends that are being affected by it, and so it's hitting close to home. And again, it still is affecting me, even though I might not be as involved with BSA as one of my friends are. I'm still a student. I'm still a Black woman. This is still supposed to be a safe space for me on campus. I'm supposed to feel safe on campus. And I feel like by them doing this, by them putting this bill into place, it is basically another way for them to say, you don't deserve to have one safe space on a PWI. Make that, it literally makes no sense. Everywhere we go, we barely see our kind. And so we have one area on campus where we can go and you're surrounded by people that look just like you, and they took that away. And so it's really disheartening. It sucks, man. Letting people go, professors, that I've known since my freshman year that have helped me with resumes, have helped me find internships, have helped me with just so many different things that I can't even mention, are don't even remember or can talk about, like that have always had my back, that have probably done things for me that I don't even know about. So yeah, this is really, I mean, I keep saying it sucks, but it really does. Like that's it. This is terrible. But again, that's why I really wanted to come on here and talk about it, because it does affect me and I have the platform, and in any little way I can, like if you follow me, I've been vocal about it on Twitter, some on Instagram, but again, I'm still learning. Don't want to spread any misinformation. And also I was very busy with the season, but the season is over with. I have some downtime. I will be advocating, as the bigger that we can get this, the better. Also, when I went to the meeting yesterday, for anyone listening to this, on May 3rd, Friday, May 3rd, there will be a SB 17 hearing at the Capitol. And it will be an opportunity. I'm pretty positive. I could be wrong, but I think if I remember correctly from the meeting, it will be an opportunity for some students to speak there, which is really good because you're speaking to the people that make these decisions and pass these bills. So May 3rd, y'all, Friday. I am not sure on the time, so you might want to look that up or just stay updated, look at my Instagram. But that will be happening soon. So yeah, like I said, this situation is just very, very frustrating because it affects me and so many other people that I know. And it just seems like whenever we just take the smallest step forward, it's 40 steps back. And it's just anything to keep us down. Like I honestly cannot understand to y'all how you would want to pass a bill like this. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, who is that hurting? If anything, that's helping everyone. Like, it makes no sense to me, y'all. I'm still processing everything. I don't have all the answers. And again, I want to reiterate two things. I'm not trying to spread any misinformation. I don't know everything. This is just the stuff that I know. I'm learning daily. I'm advocating as much as possible, but I'm not perfect. No one else is. So I just want y'all to know that I do not want to spread any misinformation. And again, like I said, if you need to reach out to me about anything, you can. Second, like I said, please vote, guys. Please, please, please vote. If that is the one thing you take away, I need you guys to please get in the polls and vote. Like, that is the most important way. And honestly, the only way for us to be able to really have power and make decisions. If we get people that are making these other decisions that we don't agree with, get them out of office. And so please vote. So we have gotten to the end of the podcast, and I know that was some heavy stuff on the heart right there, but I do want to lighten up a little bit before I go away and just let you guys know that with all this going on, life is still good. Life is still worth living, and to just take it day by day. I mean, I still have some very exciting things coming up. You know, like I said, we have April off and May off, but we have May like completely off. Like we'll have a few workouts in April. In May, I should have the opportunity to do an internship. I can't really say much about it, but somewhere very exciting, very fun for a few weeks in May. And I also have the Black Student Athlete Summit in May from May 23rd through the 26th, which I will be at, and I went to last year. It's actually how I met my ZIYNX fam, so shout out y'all. Something exciting will be happening with the podcast out there too. Don't want to say anything about it yet, but just, keep that in mind. Something will be happening. But yeah, just some exciting things coming up. Kind of just wanted to leave that there since what I just talked about was a lot. But yeah, like I said, please vote, guys. Keep living your best lives. I know I will, and I'll be enjoying this downtime. But yeah, that's all I've got today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed listening. Again, please vote. And again, my goal of this podcast was not to spread any misinformation. It was just for y'all to hear my side of things, to get this out there more. And if you are listening, like, there are things that you can do to help if you would like to. Like I said, please reach out to me if you want. And please vote. I'm going to keep saying it. Please vote. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. We will have a guest back next week. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But please rate, review, and subscribe, you guys. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.